Side qualifying runs as the nation's best attempt to gain a starting berth in this fantastic all-pro showdown. The funny cars of Big John Basmanian, Jungle Jim Lieberman, Don Nicholson, Don Schumacher, Dick Lohr, Brutus, the Super Chief, Charlie Allen, the Mickey Thompson Mustangs, Ray Alley, Gas Ronda, Jess Tyree, Jack Chrisman, Doug Headers, Steve Bullbound, Travel and Javelin. And listen to these top fuelers. Winter Nationals champions of E.B. and Mulligan, Tom McEwen, Wright, Donovan and Carbone, the Howard Cam Rattler, Casbury and Hampshire, Dave Beebe, Tony Waters, Dervina Schnitzel, Warren, Coburn and Miller, and two-time world champion Benny Osborne. The All-Pro Championship this Sunday, qualifying at 10, eliminations at 2. Take the San Diego Freeway to Valencia or the Santa Ana Freeway to San Canyon.
Orange County International Raceway, the history of rock and roll.
Elvis Presley prompted screams from his fans, just as the Beatles did 7 years after the popularity of Where Have All the Flowers Gone. The Kingston Trio were a midway phenomenon, and their appearances triggered not screams, but hoots. Hootenannies, that is. Where Have All the Flowers Gone was an early clue of the messages to come, but the beginning of the pop-folk renaissance was focused primarily on packaging rather than content. In 1962, for example, the Highwaymen had hit with a nicely wrapped version of the traditional Michael.
Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Sister helped to trim the sails, hallelujah. Sister helped to trim the sails, hallelujah.
also scored with a southern folk song about cotton fields.
When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me in the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me in the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. Oh, when them cotton balls get rotten, you can't dig very much cotton in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me into the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me into the cradle in them old cotton fields back home. Oh, when them cotton balls get rotten, you can't dig very much cotton in them old cotton fields back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texarkana, in them old cotton fields back home. In them old cotton fields back home. In them old cotton fields back home.
Up to this point, folk music had been fairly easy to describe. Purists insisted that folk songs were the result of oral tradition. They could not be deliberately constructed, and that folk music had to be ancient. But things began to break loose in 1962 with a crop of young songwriters and performers who forced a redefinition. Soon, songs containing social statements or intensely personal lyrics were accepted as instant folk music. The KHJ History of Rock and Roll returns with a 1962 hit from the group which popularized this breakthrough of new folk forms.
This is Marv Howard, KHJ 2020 News. There's hope tonight that a downed airliner may still be found with survivors. Officials at Palmdale and China Lake Airport say they've received faint signals on emergency frequencies which may have come from that ill-fated DC-3, believed lost somewhere near the California-Nevada border around Bishop. The plane is white in color, and the heavy snowfall has hampered air and ground searchers. On the Pacific Coast Highway tonight, traffic is being halted a mile north of Sunset Boulevard. A house has been threatening to slide downhill in the Palisades, and a wrecking crew is up there now, tearing it down. Regents take hard line on demonstrators. Details next. Andy Baxter, sports upcoming on KHJ.
Now, names in the news. Today, Names in the News interviews Senator Farnsworth Terwilliger. Senator, I understand you're introducing a dandruff control bill into the Senate.
That's correct. I think definite steps ought to be taken to control dandruff.
What does your bill provide for, Senator?
Every man and woman in the United States will be examined. Those with dandruff will be required to wear a paper bag over their head. That way the dandruff won't float around.
Senator, wouldn't it be easier if everyone just shampooed regularly with Head & Shoulders?
I would not like to comment on that.
After all, Head & Shoulders is one dandruff shampoo that really works.
No comment.
I don't think a paper bag would do much for the looks of hair, Senator. Head & Shoulders definitely does. In addition to helping control dandruff, it makes hair manageable and nice-looking.
Senator, why are you so hung up on this paper bag business?
Many great Americans wore bags on their head.
Would the senator name some?
I would not like to comment on that at this time. However, there are radical elements.
If you have dandruff problems, make Head & Shoulders your bag. It really works.
4 truckloads of National Guardsmen and several hundred police cordon off University.
If you have dandruff problems, make Head & Shoulders your bag. It really works.
4 truckloads of National Guardsmen and several hundred police cordon off University.
If you have dandruff problems, make Head & Shoulders your bag. It really works.
4 truckloads of National Guardsmen and several hundred police cordon off University Hall up at UC Berkeley today, while Governor Reagan met with the regents inside. 3,000 protesters chanted obscenities outside, but remained peaceful, and finally, a rainstorm drove them away. The regents, after a hot debate, approved a resolution calling for the immediate suspension of any student at the 9 campuses who takes part in violent acts and forbids him from coming back on campus during that suspension. Governor Reagan was asked if, in light of the recent wild melees at Berkeley, was a wise place to hold today's meeting.
Well, you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. You've announced the meeting, and then the activity takes place in the campus. Now, is there any way for you to change the meeting place and not have it look as if you were driven away from your meeting place by those dissidents? And I'll tell you this, that I'd do it with rocks coming through the windows before I would ever let them have the satisfaction of thinking that they made it impossible for us to meet in the announced meeting place.
Today was the 4th anniversary of the assassination of Malcolm X, the spiritual father of the Black Power movement. Black students at several colleges either boycotted classes or demonstrated over their continuation. At Pennsylvania State, 4 Negro students lowered flags to half-mast when the school said it lacked the authority to do it. At Wesleyan in Connecticut, 40 black students barricaded themselves in a classroom until the college finally agreed to hold memorial services for Malcolm X. Checking the assassination cases of Shaw and Sirhan at today's New Orleans session, Marina Oswald Porter testified that her late husband, Lee Harvey, never used the alias Leon, did not, to her knowledge, know Shaw, Ferry, or Rousseau, never lived apart from her during their stay in New Orleans, and never looked like a hippie as Rousseau described him. Art Kevin, covering the trial for KHJ, reports on a character witness for Shaw.
Lloyd Cobb of the International Trade Mart was called as a general character witness for defendant Clay Shaw in his conspiracy trial here in New Orleans. Cobb said that in August, September, and October of 1963, he and Shaw were very, very busy putting together funding for a new Trade Mart building. Cobb said Shaw had a political reputation as a liberal and was never known as a conservative. Cobb testified that in August, September, and October of 1963, Shaw was only unavailable one day, and that even then he was contacted by phone in his hometown of Hammond, Louisiana. One of the state's main points in their case against Shaw was that he visited a small community near New Orleans by the name of Clinton with Lee Harvey Oswald and David Ferry in late August